Yo, how's it going, fellas? Welcome back to another episode of Road to Tiki Taka. Now, I didn't upload because I didn't like what I was seeing. I didn't like the formation, the way it was playing, nothing. It took me a bit to figure it out, and now I'm back with something that I feel is lovely. I love playing this. This is, updated as well. The patches already came out, and it's been a joy to use this. So, these are the players I'm using. The main priorities, I think, are obviously, CBs first, make them quick and stuff. If you don't have them fast, then make sure you have high defensive awareness, something with strength as well. Blank's doing the job. And the lane is important as well. Players with a good attacking positioning, 84, still not that high. I still want to. There's a lot of fullbacks with higher, for example, Dest and Danny Alves. But I'm broke. This is what I got. So now let's talk tactics. So I'm gonna explain this further in video through details. But I went with width 42, depth 72. This is more experimental. You could do this for you guys. I've gotten used to this now. With everybody plays narrow, so this helps out a little bit. Some do play 4-2-2, but yeah, it's alright. It's up to you. Now the build-up play, slow build-up and possession, and one width. Okay, so positional play was my focus, guys. I was tired of playing balance. I tried it for the longest. Teams don't stick to position. They're too aggressive sometimes, and I tried direct passing. Or too aggressive. They don't really keep their shape. Now they do if you have slow build-up. And if you have them on stay back, every center mid, they will keep possession for sure. And it's nice. Now, let's talk about instructions. Oh, I'll explain why I have one width as well. I'll explain why. And that is just because the lane is on inverted. These are the instructions. Inverted makes them play left mid or left attacking mid. It creates a beautiful triangle that I'll show you in the highlights that is just perfect. Now, you don't need both of them, but I use both of them on inverted and step up. And when you have them on one width, they're close, guys. They're like Chavi's right there. You can just turn around and easy A pass back to each other like it's nothing. If you had them on overlap, they're far too far. They're almost useless. It's hard to give it to them. The fullback's always covering them. It's just a mess sometimes. You could try it, but I prefer it like this. Now, step up and inverted on both. Gravenberch is on balance and cover center knight. I've been noticing he goes up a little bit too much, so you could try stay back. I just wanted to give it a shot to help the build up a little bit more. But I think he builds up either way fine on stay back. This one's up to you. But Pedri and Xavi are both on stay back in cover center, just to keep the shape. I think it's important. Stay central, stay forward on the striker, and Puskás come back on defense. Stay wide on the wingers, both, so they can stay wide and the lane can occupy that position. And still, he won't fully be playing like a left forward spot. He will still drop a little bit like a left attacking mid, which is nice. So that's it, guys. Like I said, if you don't want, if you like a overlap fullbacks, you could leave one on overlap and make sure the winger goes on cut inside. So you could try that. It could be nice as well. It could be pretty unpredictable if you had that, but yeah. Or you could also keep experimenting. Stay back on Gravenberch. Leave one on balanced like Pedri, and then Xavi on stay back to keep a little bit more of the shape. But yeah, that part's up to you. And now it's time to go to the highlights. And also direct passing, like I said, it still works. Just make sure you have them on, balanced. So yeah. All right, guys. Now let's get to the video. All right, fellas. Now let's talk about the first goal. As you can see, the fullback getting involved. Now, this will happen when you do a play, and if the winger decides to cut inside anyway, no matter what, it will send the fullback to the out wide. But sometimes he'll keep his cool. He'll go back down like he did there. We kept going with the play. We scored. But yeah, guys, inverted, as you can tell right there. Weapon. As you can tell right there, that's where I like them to be. When they're overlapping, sometimes it's just useless. But right here, you can use them to triangle between Xavi and the right wing right away. See? Boom. He goes, wide because Brian Hill cuts inside. But again, you can see Dest. I can see him on the screen. It's easier to do a play with them, even though I didn't use him there. It feels like you have so much more numbers. Really, it's all about the numbers. And when you have that many players in the midfield next to each other and the fullbacks are inverted, it feels like you can just pass and pass and pass, and you'll just hold possession for days. Let's take the next highlight. I'm gonna play the clip first. As you can see so far, like the midfield, and the wing, and the fullback, they get pretty close, and it's nice. And then we just get that disgusting play, right? And yeah, guys. For right now, it ends up turning into like a 2-5-3 pretty much, and it's an attack. But with the midfielder staying back, they don't go too aggressive to the point where everyone's attacking. Like they always push back. See how they push back? That's what you need, or else if you get countered, it's gonna be tough because he's gonna be just running up. Same with Xavi. Like Gravenberch already on balance pushes up quite a lot. So, but yeah, guys. Again, fullbacks, they're not too aggressive. They don't run away to the point where you can't pass it to them. That's why I prefer inverted, because it's just, I don't know, guys. It's been goated really. Like they get close to the midfield and then they push back to the midfield again. See, it doesn't fully overlap, and I like that. So beautiful. Next play. All right, fellas. Now for the next goal. It's right here in the loop. Pass it to Xavi, Gravenberch, Pedri. Delane made a run a little bit. He overlapped because Griezmann cut inside. They do adapt, which is nice, and there you go. It's a beautiful play. So yeah, if any winger doesn't, even if you have the fullback on inverted, if the winger cuts inside, the midfielder, the fullback will overlap. It's just how it is. There's nothing you can do about that, but it's all good because at the end of the day, you do want the striker to cut inside still. So even if you have him on stay wide, they're still cutting inside. But the whole purpose that you want the fullback to play midfield, he'll more often do that than, Griezmann won't cut inside all the time, but when he does, this will happen and they will overlap. So yeah, but most of the time they're doing as you say, keeping them on stay wide and keeping that inverted run. So it's clean. All right, another play here involving the fullback. Look at that inverted run nicely, and once you pass it back, look at him run back. That's what I like. And then another good lane run. It's just beautiful, guys. I'm using them every single time. They're always available. They're always there for a play, and it's just crazy, really. It's really crazy the angles they get in there when it's an inverted. So and it's much better, as you can tell. Like there's a difference because if the fullbacks are touching the if they're fully like keeping the width, touching the line, they're not really like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you give them the ball, but they're too far, guys. They'll end up being too far if you keep them on overlap sometimes. Or if you keep the width maybe too wide, they just end up too far to the point where the pass you give them, yeah, they're free, but they're not gonna cause much damage with it because they're just too wide. But when you have them inverted and they get close, they're more useful to let go of the ball quickly. So see, for example, right there, I can pass it right away. If he was all the way by the line, the chance that's easily intercepted, and the pass just becomes more difficult to make. So it's just been beautiful like this the past weeks. Just been grinding it out like this, and I've been loving it. All right, guys, I want to show you this clip because the fluidity is beautiful. So look at the midfield run by Delane. Pretty much it's entering pretty much like a right attack in mid zone, left mid, here and there. He still doesn't go too far. He doesn't sit on the wing. He doesn't go right next to the left back. That's the thing. They don't sit by the left back. They sit in the perfect spot where they're a passing option. If you put them on overlap, they will sit with a left back sometimes, or with a RCM or LCM if they got one. Left mid or right mid. They'll sit by a left mid or right mid, and their lane is covered by a left mid and right mid when they're on overlap. It's just so weird. It's a thing on this year where the left mids and right mids or the fullbacks, if you have the fullback on overlap and he's always making runs, it looks cool, but most of the time it's easy to cover. Really, it's really easy, and it's also automatic. The fullbacks cover the runs of the other fullbacks easily. So when you have them inverted, nobody's covering them. They're like a free man in the midfield. You pretty much overload it, and like I said, like you pass it, they stay right there. They don't overdo it. They run back. You see it? Perfect. And that's what I like. So that's the whole purpose of having them inverted on balance. If you don't want too many in the midfield like that, you could do just one on balance and the other one inverted on stay back. So all right, this is the perfect clip right here of how everything usually unfolds. This is how their usual movements are, not always overlapping. Usually right here in the midfield, playing together, There's a lot of triangles right there they're creating just by those little movements under the inverted runs. Puskas, shoots, golazo. So first, let's talk about the triangle right there. By having an inverted run, you can see the triangle between Xavi. What's it, Xavi? Yeah, Xavi, Ryan Gill, and Roberto Carlos. Road tripping. Carlos Alberto. So there he is. Passes to Gravenberch. And then another one right here. The lane made a triangle with Puskas and Pedri. Perfect, right? And also want to talk about Gravenberch. See what I mean? Balanced, it still creates, they're still very attacking, guys. So it's up to you. How do you want it to be? If you want to stay back or not. Which player do you want it on? Because even the CDM, who's a CDM, doesn't even have high attacking work rates. Gravenberch is medium. And look at him run. He made a great run, but they're aggressive, guys. So it's up to you whether you want to stay back on every single midfielder, or if you want it on Gravenberch, on the RCM, the center mid spot, and you leave the attacking center mid on balance. Totally up to you. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I think that's a perfect example of how it all unfolds, how the inverted fullbacks position themselves. They're a lot more useful there than they are when you're on the wings. So that's why I think when they make overlapping runs, usually it's always hard to get it to them. They're offside, or the fullback covers it and they intercept it like all the time. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed those little examples. But I think that might be it. But all right, fellas, that'll be the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't put as much like individual just highlights because I wanted to explain what actually goes on, why I went with that direction of inverted fullbacks. You could do one, like I said, you can mix it up. You can just do one if it's too much. You're afraid to get countered. Even though I feel like they sit in a good spot, they're not sitting too high up. They sit. Sometimes they will overlap, but not often. They will sit a little bit lower, and it's still pretty safe. So I like the fact that they sit more of a right mid or right attacking mid spot, a little bit lower, and it's nice. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm still experimenting, but I think this been fitting like the best. It's been legit. I could try more players in the box, but I think keeping them very stable and positional. This is the closest I can get to positional play, you know, where they keep their position very nicely, and I love it. So, all right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Catch y'all later. Peace.